Shalom Israel, Shalom. We back at it again with another lesson. It's the brother Kataziyar Hawad. And today the spirit was on me to go into some shit I seen on Instagram, about 1,700 troops or National Guard, if you will, being rolled out across 19 different states. All right, and that immediately has sparked in my mind the fact that, this is a test run, if you will, or could be a test run, if you will, of what martial law could potentially look like. Even though we know, martial law is going to, be 10, 20 times worse than whatever this is. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in this truth and faith and sincerity. Shalom to the families out there who are watching, waiting, praying on Yahweh Shai's second return. Shalom to the house of David, the hopeful elect. All right, so you see it. This is what I typed in on the Google. All right. So this is a few different articles, right? Fox News, everything. So we'll start with Fox News, or we'll basically run with this one. I'm pretty sure they all, to a degree, say the same thing. So you can see, they was published just a few days ago. All right, today is the 28th. And it's just going to be real quick, man, because I'm already like damn near 20 minutes into my 30-minute lunch break and shit. So this going to be real quick, man. All right. So the title of this article from Fox News is National Guard mobilized in 19 states amid immigration and crime crackdown. So before we even really dive into it, or basically I'm pretty sure I could summarize it to a degree real quick. So you can see these are the states that they planning to do it in, right? These are the states that they planning, with status effective from August through mid-November. Texas is projected to host the most significant guard presence, right? Because ICE is trying to crack down and shit like that. They're trying to, deport Jake and shit like that, deport Israelites, the so-called Latinos, all right? With the Israelites being so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? So, and they trying to crack down on the so-called Latinos, all right? And they also saying that they trying to crack down on crime in general, right? Which we know is just a ploy. Part of it is punishment from Yahweh Shai on the so-called Latinos, them getting deported, separated from their families and shit like that, right? That's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and that's one of the curses, right? It might be Deuteronomy 28, verse 40 something, or verse 60 something, I forget, but it's in there, like being separated from your family and your children and shit like that. All right. But yeah, like I said, man, this is gonna be, picture this, but on a more grand scale, if you will. Picture this, but across all 50 states. All right. Picture this, all the National Guard, military, shit like that. Setting up roadblocks, blocking off freeways and a lot of roads and shit like that, not allowing you to leave your house, or there being an enforced curfew. Because remember, in 2020, during the scamdemic, or during the pandemic, there was curfew set up, but a lot of folks wasn't even adhering to the curfew, right? Police would drive around. All right, I live in Oakland, so a lot of police would drive around, and they trying to enforce this curfew that a lot of people wouldn't even adhere to. All right, and so it's gonna come a time where they gonna enforce that damn curfew. All right, that door shut on me. Yeah, motherfucking wind shut that shit on me. But it's gonna come a time where they're gonna enforce that curfew shit, you know, through the military and shit like that, not the police. All right. So I want to get a couple scriptures real quick. The first few that come to mind. All right. With this prophecy being in, it's in 3, right? It's in St. Matthew, St. Mark, and St. Luke. All right. So we're gonna start with St. Luke chapter 21. All right. And I'm gonna just get the point. Well, all right, let's start at verse 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? So the disciples are asking Yahawashi, you know, what are the signs going to be that the end of the world is coming? The end of Esau's kingdom is coming. You know, what are the signs going to be? And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and then the time draws near, go ye not therefore after them. Right. So, you know, anybody trying to step forward and claim to be Yahawashi, right? We know through the Spirit not to follow them. We know they are not Yahawashi. See? But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Right. So when you hear of race wars, civil wars, World War III, right? When you hear these different things, don't be terrified, because these things have to come to pass. There will be race wars. All right. Like a race war is on the horizon. Civil war on the horizon. All right. World War III is knocking at the door, just like Jacob's trouble. All right. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Right. So heavy judgment is about to befall this place, man, because people don't fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? And the world is about to know his name, Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The world is about to know his name. The world is about to understand that Yahawashi did walk this earth 2,000 years ago. You see? You got a lot of people that don't believe, you know, that half believe, or whatever the case may be, man, where they about to really believe once judgment befalls this place. All right? Through the form of, you know, natural disasters and catastrophes and shit, right? Famines, pestilences, diseases, right? Fearful sights. You see? Verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Right? So, you know, it's gonna come a time, man. It's gonna come a time, you know, where they're gonna persecute the prophets first, right? Out here preaching the word, and, you know, throwing us in the camps or killing us on the spot, whatever the case it may be, man. I pray that I am numbered amongst the hopeful elect. That's why I'm doing the work for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. You know, so I'm not going to just sit here and outright call myself a prophet. I just pray that I'm numbered amongst the hopeful elect. All right. This is why I'm doing the works. But those who are doing the works will be persecuted. The prophets will be persecuted. All right. For the name and for the sake of Yahawashi. All right. So through the Spirit, you know, this is prophesying about martial law, World War III. All right. Race wars. The famines that are to come, all right? Throwing you in the synagogues and prisons, right? The concentration camps, the FEMA camps, all right? For those who will not bow down and take that mark of the beast, okay? You will likely be thrown into a concentration camp and possibly killed. All right. So this is why we're building ourselves up in the Spirit in case we have to endure that. You see, this is why the scriptures say, he that endureth until the end, Salakia, is to the degree or to the effect of he that endures until the end, the same shall be saved. All right? So you're not saved like these Christians be thinking. You're not saved unless you endure until the end. You see? And Yahweh Shai said, be thou faithful even unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You see? So if it be the Lord's will that we must undergo death for the name and for the sake of Yahweh Shai, we pray that we are of those, of part of the hopeful elect who are raised up, all right, who are raised up from the dead and beamed up into the chariots, man, having our bodies changed, becoming immortal, all right. So let me also grab that in, it's the book of Mark chapter, is it 13? Yeah, it's 13. All right, so you get the same prophecy here. You see? Start at verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors, be not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. Right, so the end ain't coming yet. Okay? And so I'm not going to read, I'm trying to make this quick, so I'm not going to read completely through it. You can read through right here the rest of the prophecy, right? All right. And it's also in the book of Matthew. Oh, wait, it's not 15. That's the Canaanite woman. I forgot. Salaki, it slipped my mind. Salaki, bear with me. It's Matthew 24. All right. So here you can read the prophecy again as well. All right. So like I said, man, this is just a test run of martial law. All right. It's not the full thing. It's not the real thing taking place just yet, But like Yahweh Shai said, man, if you can discern the weather, man, you can look around and discern the times and understand the times that we in. Even though no man knows the hour that Yahweh Shai will return, right? None of us know when Yahweh Shai will come through that sky, man, with his army of angels. All right. But we can discern the times to understand that we're getting closer. You see? So I understand through the spirit, this Babylon, man, and the wickedness of this earth, man, that's exceedingly polluted. This shit can't go on for another 10, 15, 20 years, man. It just can't. All right. We predict it can't even go on like another it can't even go on another like 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Now if it do, it is what it is. But just to understand that shit is right at the door, man. All right. The way prophecy looking, the way everything is going, the way time is speeding up, man. I just don't see this thing playing out, for another 7, 8, 9, 10 years, man. I doubt that we got 5. You know what I mean? I doubt that we got 5 the way prophecy's speeding up right now, man. All right? Because check this out. Like I showed before, man, this is America's Chronos Treasury. Trump Media Group and Crypto.com app announced a $6.5 billion crypto treasury. You see? And so this is aiming towards that push for a one world currency, for a digital currency, not necessarily one world, but a digital currency, right? Pushing out the American dollar, all right, destroying the American dollar. So this is just letting you know, and you put that in tandem with the fact that some weeks ago Trump silently signed that bill, that crypto bill or whatever. So, you put all this shit together in tandem, man. You can see where it's headed, man. You see where we headed. All right, and now you got Trump, wanting to send out 1,700 National Guards and shit. All right. So it's gonna come a time, man, where this shit is gonna be, countrywide on a wide scale, not just 19 states, man, but all 50 states. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm about to get back in the plantation, man. I just wanted to get a quick hit on that real quick, man, to let y'all know, for those of you who have not seen it, this is what's going on. If you Google 1,700 National Guards like I did, you can either read some of these other articles, or you can even listen to this 25-second video of Trump, which I might as well just play it.
Safe. And we're going to then go on to other places, but we're going to stay here for a while. We want to make this absolutely perfect. It's our capital, and I guess it used to be many years ago safe, but it's certainly not had a very good run. And you got to be strong, you got to be tough, you got to do your job. Whatever it takes to do your job, you got to do your job. But the crime numbers are way down.
All right, so I hope y'all was able to hear that. If you wasn't, then just, again, do the Google search and all of that, and you'll find a video. You can watch it for yourself. All right, I wasn't able to hear shit, but that's usually the case when I'm screen recording like this. I can't actually hear the video that's playing, but or it's hella low in volume. But yeah, man, that's the point on that. I'm about to get back in here to the workhouse, man, into the plantation. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to my teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there who are laboring in this truth and faith and sincerity. Shalom to the families out there who are watching, waiting, praying on Yahweh Shai's second return. Shalom to the house of David, the hopeful elect. To the next video.